New this morning, Pakistan's interior minister says an estimated 350 people were killed on the capsized migrant ship. The interior minister said Friday only 12 survived. We're also learning more about what happened in the hours before the boat sank. Jomana Karache has been investigating and has this report.
The desperate, exhausting wait for the promise of a new life in Europe. These Pakistanis crammed into a small room by smugglers in Libya. Some of them believed to be among the hundreds presumed dead. These last images before they embarked on their ill-fated journey. About 750 refugees and migrants were packed into this fishing vessel bound for Italy before it capsized off the coast of Greece. Only 104 survived, and with them the harrowing accounts of what they'd been through.
I can still hear the voice of a woman calling out for help. You would swim and move the floating bodies out of your way.
The Syrian survivor spoke to us from Greece. He asked for his identity to be concealed for security reasons. His and other accounts obtained by CNN not only contradict the official Greek version of events, but point to fault on the part of the Greek Coast Guard. Greek authorities who watched and were in communication with the boat for an entire day insist that it was not in distress and refused assistance. Our investigation tells a very different story. Just before 1 p.m. on June 13th, the boat was first spotted by the EU's border patrol agency Frontex, which says it notified Greek authorities of a, quote, heavily overcrowded fishing vessel. Those on board were in distress, lost at sea with no food or water for days, according to survivors and activists in touch with the boat throughout the day. At about 7 p.m., an activist in Italy recorded one of the calls capturing the horror on board. As activists repeatedly relayed calls for a rescue to authorities, 2 merchant vessels approached the boat, instructed by the Greek Coast Guard to provide the boat with food and water. But as darkness fell, at 10:40 p.m., a Greek Coast Guard vessel moves in, now the only ship on the scene. 3 hours later, the haunting last words from the boat to the activist group alarm phone. "Hello, my friend. The ship you send is..." And the line cuts out. What happened next is likely to raise more questions as the investigations continue. Survivors tell us it was a botched attempt by the Greek Coast Guard to tow their boat that caused it to capsize.
They decided to throw us a rope, so the guys at the front tied it. They towed us. The boat tilted to the right and everyone was screaming. People began falling into the sea and the boat capsized. People couldn't get out from under the boat.
The Greek Coast Guard have declined our request for an interview, but in previous comments they've denied towing the trawler, saying, when the boat capsized, we were not even next to it. How could we be towing it? Instead, they blamed a, quote, shift in weight, probably caused by panic. For years, Greek authorities have been accused of systematically and violently pushing back migrants and refugees. Video like this one released by the Turkish government captured the now well-documented practice Greece denies. This deadly incident is not just about what they may have done, it's also about what they didn't do.
It was clear it was unseaworthy. It was clear that it is part of a trafficking movement from Libya to Europe. So the authorities had a responsibility to intervene to save life.
As Fortress Europe hardens its immigration policies to deter some of the world's most vulnerable, this disaster will almost certainly not be the last. Jomana Karache, CNN, London.